The year was 2387. Humanity had only been a spacefaring civilization for 60 years, a blink of an eye compared to the ancient empires that ruled the stars. The Galactic Conclave, a union of 14 alien species, had tolerated humanity's expansion with quiet amusement. To them, humans were children playing with fire. Curious. Harmless. Primitive. Admiral James Harker stood on the bridge of the UEES Resolute, staring at the tactical display with calm, steady eyes. The Resolute was Earth's flagship, a warship built not with alien technology, not with borrowed designs, but with pure human engineering. She was massive, angular, and brutish in appearance. No smooth curves. No elegant geometry. Just reinforced titanium plating 4 meters thick, a spine of magnetic rail cannons running her entire length, and a reactor core that burned like a second sun. The alien ambassadors who had visited her once called her ugly. Their word for it translated roughly to, a rock with engines. Harker had smiled when he heard that. He liked rocks. The transmission came through at 0600 hours. It was from Vrath Command, the military arm of the Conclave's dominant species, the Vrathi. Tall, silver-skinned, and arrogant beyond measure, the Vrathi had conquered 40 star systems before humanity had invented the wheel. The holographic image of Fleet Commander Zyrak materialized above the bridge console. His 4 eyes swept across the Resolute's interior with visible contempt. Admiral Harker, Zyrak said, his translator clicking smoothly. You are in violation of Conclave Expansion Directive 7. The Kepler-62 system belongs to the Vrathi Dominion. You will withdraw your colony ships immediately, or we will remove them ourselves. Behind the Resolute, 12 human colony vessels sat in orbit above Kepler-62e, a lush, breathable world that Earth's scientists had spent 20 years preparing to settle. 40,000 colonists were aboard those ships. Families. Engineers. Farmers. Children. Harker folded his hands behind his back. Directive 7 was ratified without human representation, Commander. We don't recognize it. Zyrak's expression shifted, not to anger, but to something worse. Pity. You have 1 Earth hour, Admiral. Do not mistake our patience for weakness. The transmission cut. Lieutenant Commander Marcus Webb turned from his console. Sir, Vrathi fleet is coming out of FTL. I'm counting, 43 warships. Harker nodded slowly. Sound battle stations. The Vrathi fleet moved into formation with mechanical precision. Their ships were beautiful, sleek white vessels that looked like they had been sculpted rather than built. Each one hung with plasma shielding that could deflect most known weapons. The Vrathi had won 100 wars with this fleet configuration. They were not worried. Zyrak opened a fleet-wide channel so every Vrathi captain could hear him address the human ship. He wanted witnesses. Admiral Harker. Your vessel is a monument to inefficiency. Single hull. Conventional propulsion. Fixed gun emplacements. He paused for effect. You bring a hammer to a war fought with light. Across the Vrathi fleet, officers exchanged amused glances. Several began recording the encounter, a curiosity to share back home. The primitive human warship, alone, facing 43 of the Conclave's finest. Harker's voice came back, quiet and unhurried. You're right, Commander. We did bring a hammer. He turned to his weapons officer. Lieutenant Cole, full power to the main rail array. Target their lead formation. Fire. Nothing in Vrathi combat doctrine had prepared them for what happened next. The Resolute didn't glow. She didn't hum with exotic energy. She simply shook, a deep, bone-rattling vibration as her 16 magnetic rail cannons fired simultaneously, launching tungsten slugs the size of ground vehicles at a fraction below the speed of light. Plasma shields, designed to deflect energy weapons, were completely irrelevant. You cannot deflect mass traveling at relativistic speed. Physics doesn't negotiate. For Vrathi warships ceased to exist in under 3 seconds. Not damaged. Not disabled. Gone, converted into expanding clouds of superheated debris that rippled through the formation like a shockwave of pure consequence. The Vrathi fleet froze. Zyrak's composure shattered. What was that weapon? Webb looked up from his console, unable to hide the grin. Kinetic energy, sir. Newton's laws. We've known about it for about 400 years. The battle lasted 11 minutes. The Resolute absorbed punishment, her thick hull denting, scorching, groaning under plasma fire. 3 crew members were injured. 1 section lost atmosphere temporarily. But she kept moving. Kept firing. Relentless, ugly, and absolutely unstoppable. By the time Zyrak requested ceasefire, 19 of his 43 warships were destroyed or crippled. Harker opened the channel. The colonies stay, Commander. And when you return to the Conclave, tell them something for me. He glanced out at the stars, the same stars his ancestors had once only dreamed of reaching. Humanity didn't survive ice ages, plagues, world wars, and extinction-level events by being fragile. We don't build pretty ships, Commander. We build ships that win. The Vrathi fleet retreated into FTL and did not return. Behind the Resolute, the colony ships began their descent toward Kepler, 62e. 40,000 people, watching through viewports as a green and blue world grew larger beneath them, their new home, held for them by 1 ship and 1 crew who refused to move. Admiral James Harker sat back in his command chair, looked at his battered, ugly, magnificent warship reflected in the viewport glass, and allowed himself one quiet smile. Rocks, he thought, are harder than they look.